That's a good question. I didn't realize, like, that amount of force of air, I can't breathe. So I had to figure out how you're taking the wind and you're breathing down here like this. And
For over 12 years, the world stayed quiet while one of Hollywood's most famous fathers and his only daughter slowly drifted apart. That silence has finally shattered, and what's coming out now is more heartbreaking than anyone expected. Suri Noel, once known as Suri Cruz, grew up in a spotlight she never wanted. Born into fame, hidden from the world, and kept away from her father by forces way too powerful for a kid to understand, Suri's now 19, and she's speaking loud and clear through her choices. Her actions have shocked everyone who remembers that picture-perfect family smiling on red carpets. This is the real story of a daughter who watched her father from afar, and the man who saw his little girl fade from his world. It all started like a Hollywood dream when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes first met in 2005. Their story hit the headlines before it even began. Katie, just 26, was glowing with her post-Dawson's Creek fame, a small-town dreamer making it big. Tom, 43, was already a global superstar. Top Gun, Jerry Maguire, Mission Impossible. His name alone packed theaters. But for Katie, it was more than admiration. Years earlier, she'd told 17 magazine her dream was to marry Tom Cruise. It sounded sweet, almost like a teenage fantasy. Nobody believed it could really happen. And when Tom finally met her, he reportedly told his team, "I'm going to marry her." Within weeks, what once seemed impossible turned real. The chemistry was electric, and their romance was explosive. Cameras caught them hand in hand in Rome, laughing like teens crazy in love. The world watched in awe as Tom, usually calm and private, suddenly turned into a man completely swept away by passion. Then came the moment no one would ever forget. His legendary Oprah Winfrey appearance, jumping on the couch, shouting, "I'm in love." It was wild, unforgettable, and pure Tom Cruise energy. Some thought it was romantic, others thought it was strange, but everyone was glued to their screens. By April 18th, 2006, their daughter Suri was born, the baby who symbolized that whirlwind Hollywood fairy tale. Tom called it the happiest day of my life and couldn't stop talking about her, calling her a miracle. But even that miracle was surrounded by the powerful beliefs that shaped his world, Scientology. Katie, once a Catholic schoolgirl from Ohio, suddenly found herself in a world completely different from her own. Her pregnancy and Shuri's birth followed Scientology customs, including a silent birth, where no one was allowed to speak during delivery. Tom even bought a sonogram machine so he could track the pregnancy himself. To outsiders, it looked intense, even controlling, but to Tom, it was love in its purest form. Their wedding that November looked straight out of a movie, set in a 15th century castle in Italy, costing over $3 million. Katie wore Giorgio Armani, and Tom beamed with pride as cameras flashed everywhere. The guest list was pure Hollywood royalty. Jennifer Lopez, Will Smith, and the Beckhams all showed up. But behind those glowing smiles, Katie's parents were quietly worried. As lifelong Catholics, they couldn't ignore the uneasy feeling about the powerful church now surrounding their daughter's new life. And sadly, their fears turned out to be true. The fairy tale soon twisted into something far more complicated.
but feel the force of it. It was pretty intense, I gotta say.
For Tom, it was all about love. For Katie, it slowly became isolation. And for little Shuri, it was the start of a childhood unlike any other, one shaped by fame, control, and secrets. The cracks in the perfect picture were beginning to show. By 2007, Tom and Katie looked unstoppable, the faces of a Hollywood dream. Red carpets, private jets, glossy magazine covers. They had it all. To the world, they were perfection. The biggest movie star, his stunning wife, and their adorable daughter. But behind that flawless image, something wasn't right. Friends began to whisper that Katie was never truly alone. Every time she stepped out, someone from Tom's inner circle, often tied to Scientology, was nearby, watching. Even during casual outings, there were quiet figures always present, paying attention to every move she made. One evening over dinner, journalist Maureen Orth caught a glimpse of the tension. When fans came up to say hello, Katie smiled, but then said something that shocked Orth and hinted at the truth hiding behind that Hollywood glow. "Oh, we don't go outside very much." It sounded harmless, but for those who knew Scientology's tight structure, that line spoke volumes. Tom was still a powerhouse of energy, confident, charming, and fully loyal to his faith. He had become one of Scientology's biggest ambassadors, proudly promoting its celebrity centers and fiercely defending it from critics. To Tom, the church wasn't just a belief. It was truth, discipline, and a way to save the soul. But for Katie, it became a wall she couldn't get past. Her parents, Martin and Kathleen Holmes, watched helplessly from the outside, devout Catholics growing more worried with every passing month. They visited less often, unsure how to reach the daughter they barely recognized. Friends said Katie started to change. She seemed distant, quiet, almost mechanical at times, repeating the same praises about Tom. "He's amazing. He's wonderful." It felt practiced, like the spark inside her was fading. Meanwhile, Tom's two adopted kids with Nicole Kidman, Bella and Connor, were already deep in the church, completely loyal to its teachings. For Tom, it made sense that Suri would one day follow the same path. But Katie wasn't ready to hand her daughter over to something she didn't believe in. So she started to pull away, slowly, carefully, and quietly. By 2010, rumors swirled that Katie felt trapped. She skipped some church events, reconnected with old friends, and began spending more and more time in New York without Tom by her side. Behind closed doors, Katie was quietly collecting information, planning something huge. By 2011, the cracks in that perfect Hollywood image were impossible to ignore. Her public smiles looked forced, her every move seemed cautious, and that once glamorous glow had turned into visible tension. Those who once saw a fairy tale now saw a woman holding on tight to her daughter, already thinking of escape, and that escape would shake Hollywood to its core. On June 29, 2012, the world woke up to shocking news. Katie Holmes had filed for divorce from Tom Cruise. The timing couldn't have been more strategic. It happened just days before his 50th birthday. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a full-on rescue mission. In later interviews, Tom admitted he never saw it coming. "It hit me hard," he said quietly. "Life can do that to you." But behind the scenes, Katie had been preparing for months, moving carefully like someone who knew she was being watched. She changed phones, hired her own security, and replaced anyone she suspected of reporting back to Scientology. Her father, Martin Holmes, a sharp, experienced lawyer, was her secret weapon. He had helped draft her prenup years earlier, and now he used it to protect her freedom. Katie made one final strategic move. She filed in New York instead of California, knowing New York's laws would give her the upper hand in the fight for full custody of her daughter. Katie filed the divorce papers in total secrecy while Tom was busy filming Oblivion in Iceland. He found out the same way everyone else did, through the headlines. For a man used to controlling every detail of his life, that moment was the ultimate loss of control. Court documents later revealed Katie's true motive: protection. She wanted full custody of 6-year-old Suri and complete authority over her schooling, medical care, and religious upbringing. Her fear wasn't about Tom himself. It was about the powerful church that had surrounded their family for years.
Fallout when I jumped out of the airplane at 25,000 feet, that helmet and the lighting, we kind of put that and took it to the next iteration
so
for the
good.
underwater. But I can't see.
Former Scientologists later claimed Katie believed Suri might one day be pushed into the group's intense Sea Org program, something she couldn't accept for her daughter. Then, just as fast as it began, the legal battle ended. In only 11 days, the divorce was finalized and Tom agreed to pay $400,000 a year in child support, plus extra costs for Suri's health and education until she turned 18. But money was never Katie's goal. What she wanted was freedom, distance, legal, physical, and emotional. The very next day, she and Suri disappeared from Los Angeles and quietly started a new life in New York City. Paparazzi soon spotted them walking through Chelsea hand in hand. No handlers, no bodyguards, no staged smiles, just peace at last. Katie looked exhausted, but finally free. She smiled, a real smile, the kind she hadn't shown in years. For Suri, that freedom came wrapped in silence. The father who once carried her across red carpets and called her my miracle was suddenly gone, not in anger, not in a fight, just gone. And in that quiet space, a brand new life began, one that neither Hollywood nor Scientology could ever script. After the divorce, Tom's world and Suri's world split completely in two. In 2013, during a rare court deposition, Tom was asked if Katie had left to protect Suri from Scientology. He got tense, called the question offensive, but then admitted it was true as one of the reasons. It was the closest he ever came to acknowledging the painful divide between them. That same year, reports claimed Tom had seen Suri only once since the split, in a brief private visit. After that, nothing. No photos, no confirmed meetings, no public moments together. As the years rolled on, Tom threw himself into his career. Mission, Impossible sequels, Top Gun, Maverick, worldwide tours, and gravity-defying stunts that kept fans cheering. But somewhere, far from the flashing cameras, his youngest daughter was growing up without him. Meanwhile, Katie focused on giving Suri a normal life. She enrolled her in a private school in Manhattan, took her to parks, cafes, and dance classes. Friends said Suri was bright, kind, and surprisingly down to earth. Proof that peace, not fame, had finally won. From the moment she was born into fame, Katie made one thing clear. She was going to protect her daughter. No red carpets, no interviews, no Hollywood drama, just privacy. As the years passed, Suri grew into a reflection of her mother. Same soft eyes, that shy smile, and a quiet strength that spoke volumes. But whenever her father's name came up, she'd gently steer the conversation away, saying nothing at all. Publicly, Tom never mentioned her again. Privately, insiders claimed he still paid for her education and medical care. Yet for more than a decade, the two were never seen together. The man who could capture the world's attention on screen couldn't seem to reconnect with his own daughter. It was like two planets drifting farther and farther apart. Then came a new name and a new identity. By 2021, Suri had built her own life, studying at New York's elite LaGuardia High School for Music and Art and Performing Arts, the same school that inspired fame. She acted, sang, and even directed short films with her friends. But during her senior year performance of The Addams Family, people noticed something powerful. The program listed her name as Suri Noel, taking her mother's middle name. It wasn't just a stage choice, it was a statement. And when she graduated in June 2024, that same name appeared on the official records. Tom wasn't there. He was thousands of miles away, spotted at a Taylor Swift concert in London. For fans who still remembered the proud father from 2006, the contrast was heartbreaking. While Tom was thousands of miles away, Katie sat quietly in a New York auditorium, clapping and tearing up among the other parents. Her daughter had grown into a strong young woman, all without Hollywood's protection or her father's presence. That summer, Suri took her next big step. She enrolled at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, majoring in fashion. Katie helped her move into the dorms, carrying boxes herself. No cameras, no security, just a mom and daughter doing things the normal way. By fall, Katie was back behind the camera, directing her new film, Happy Hours, reuniting with her former Dawson's Creek co-star, Joshua Jackson. During filming in 2025, Suri dropped by the set. Now 19, confident and glowing with independence. Dressed in khaki pants, a white tank top, and red sneakers, she carried herself with calm strength, shaped by years of quiet living. The world barely recognized her, but her message was powerful. She wasn't Tom Cruise's daughter anymore. She was Suri Noel, her own person, finally free. But life isn't always a fairy tale. In October 2025, Suri was spotted in New York, sitting alone on a doorstep, her head in her hands. She looked tired, lost in thought. Moments later, Katie arrived in an Uber, sat beside her, and gently comforted her. They spoke softly, then walked off together to grab pastries. Just a mom and daughter finding peace in the middle of the city. It looked like a simple mother-daughter moment. But for anyone who's followed their story, it spoke volumes. It showed just how much they've leaned on each other since everything changed years ago. Now 19, Suri is a college sophomore studying fashion, writing music, and figuring out who she wants to be. Her relationship with her father, though, remains completely silent. Tom still covers her tuition and health costs, but the two haven't spoken publicly or been seen together in over 12 years. While he continues to dominate Hollywood, preparing to film actual scenes in outer space with NASA and SpaceX, the emotional distance between him and his daughter seems like the one mission he'll never complete. Sources close to the family say Katie has done everything to keep peace at the center of their lives. No bitterness, no drama, just gratitude and growth. She often calls Suri an incredible person and says her biggest pride is watching her daughter grow into someone strong, independent, and kind. Still, even with her new name, Suri Noel carries the quiet weight of a story that the whole world once watched unfold. A story about love, control, and the hidden price of fame. For nearly 2 decades, the world has seen this play out like a film with no ending. The legendary actor who gave the world unforgettable performances, and the daughter who stepped out of his shadow to live life on her own terms. Now, as Suri Noel shapes her own path, one question still lingers. Will she ever let her father back in, or is this distance forever? And that's where the story stands, one of Hollywood's most famous families, split by silence, yet still bound by history. Suri Noel is out there building her own legacy, free from the spotlight that once defined her name. What happens next? Only time will tell if she'll ever reconnect with her father, or if this chapter is truly closed forever. If you found this story moving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who love deep Hollywood stories. Drop a comment below. What do you think? Will Suri and Tom ever find their way back to each other?